Hi. So now you've gotten through your injections and you are probably starting to think about how to test your dog's blood glucose levels. So you're going to need a glucometer or a glucose meter, depending on where you're from. And you can look up the variety of which ones you should get and this and that. You can find that information somewhere else. But I have two. I have this one, which is a human one, and it comes with a lancing device. And I have also a pet one, and this one was gifted to me by a wonderful person from the States, so it's available in the United States. It's a pet test, and these are the strips, and this is the control solution. So let me just explain. I'll show you one and then the other. Alright, this is the one that's available in my country, and that's why I've chosen to use it. So it also comes with its own strips, and it comes with needles with a lancing device. So what you're going to do is, all of these are kind of similar, so I'm just going to briefly show you how they work. First of all, when you insert the batteries, you're going to see that there's a small button here. That button is to set the date and the time, and I recommend that you do that so that you have an accurate, and if you want to save it, it kind of keeps it in the records, and just so that you have it there, if you need to go back and look, or if you want to take a photo of the reading for your vet, you've got the correct time. So that's how you set that. And then I found the easiest thing to do is get my needle ready. And I use the number 2 setting, which is the human setting on here for like a human finger. It's quite shallow, and you're going to have to probably ask a lot of different people what they choose to do. What works for Harry is his elbow calluses. And he's an old boy. He slept in a bed his whole life. I don't know why he has elbow calluses, but he does. And it's been very useful because he seems to have zero feeling whatsoever in them. He can have a sound sleep while I test him with absolutely no movement, doesn't wake up, has no idea I've tested him at all. So don't be afraid of the testing, even if you have problems giving insulin like we did in the beginning. We had severe problems, and I really didn't want to move on to testing because I was terrified of having the same situation. But those elbow calluses apparently have no feeling whatsoever. I've not tried the ear. That's another place, the blood vessels in the ear. And other people use the inner lip, and I've also not tried that. So that's up to you to research those things. So we use the number 2, which is quite shallow, and then sometimes, maybe 1 out of 10 times, I have some difficulty getting an entire drop of blood that's enough for the glucometer to work, and I have to puncture him again. So we could probably use a deeper setting, but I'd rather that he just sleeps through it, so we've managed okay with that. This particular lancing device, you put the needle in. It's a really good one, actually. I don't know if all the others are like this or not, but you push it in all the way till you hear it click, and then it's set, and you just take the cap off and you press it against something, and then you press the button down, and boom, and you don't even feel it. So he never feels it. He's quite happy with this. And after that, we always throw these away. Please, use a new device, use a new lancet, because it's just, they're so cheap, and it's silly to reuse them. You're just going to give him an infection or, you know, cause an issue for no reason. So please dispose of these along with your insulin needles properly. And insulin needles should only be used once as well. The more times you use them, the more you risk infection and the more you risk giving any kind of pain to the dog as well. So please dispose of these things properly. Take them back to your vet and ask them to dispose of them, whatever you choose to do, or your city or council or wherever it is that you live might have a needle disposal. So the next thing is we take one of these and open it. I try not to touch the ends. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. And then it goes in here, and I just gently put it in without pushing it in until I'm sure I've got the drop of blood going, and then I push it in, because once you push it in, it activates it. So it just comes on by itself. And see, and then it tells you that it's ready for the blood, and then you would just dip it in the blood and it'll suck it up by itself. So I'll show you that in another video. And then when you're finished, you just eject it on the side and that will turn off the device. Okay, so that is that one. And they seem to run quite similarly. So I'll just briefly show you the other one as well. Now the other one comes with a control solution, which is very, very helpful. And what you do is you use the control solution instead of blood to check and see that the meter is functioning correctly, is set the way it needs to be. And there's a chart on the side that on the side of this that explains some stuff. So anyway, basically what you're going to do with this one is the same thing. You just take one of the strips and you put it in. Don't put it in all the way until you're ready. And then press it in. Once you press it in, it comes on and it's got the little doggy. So if you did all the settings correctly, you would have set it for dog or cat, depending on your needs. And yeah, then it's ready. So it's really, really simple. And I think that it's quite handy to have one. I use this one kind of to see if the other one is accurate, because I can't get more stuff for this one, so I want to be a bit sparing with it. But if you live in the United States or Canada, you can probably have really good access to the strips and everything that you need. So this might be a good one for you. They do say that there's a variation between the dog and the human ones, so it's something to consider. But there's a lot of information out there on that stuff, so I won't discuss it. And in the next video, I will show you how I test Harry.